Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're putting on our executive hats and looking at marketing purely through the lens of a chief marketing officer. We are going to completely transform how we think about messaging. No more fluffy vanity metrics. We're focusing entirely on what actually drives revenue. If you're tired of copy that looks pretty but completely fails to convert, well, you are definitely in the right place.
This quote right here, it perfectly captures the trap of the old way of doing things. You know, we've all been conditioned to believe that copy should be snappy, short, and clever. But writing short, safe copy that's designed by a committee, it's like watering down a drink until it has absolutely no flavor left. You essentially create camouflage. You write something so bland and inoffensive that nobody in the boardroom objects to it. But here is the brutal reality. It succeeds brilliantly at being invisible. An invisible copy ensures that you sell absolutely nothing.
To fix this, we're going to run through a very specific agenda today. Think of this as the exact operational checklist used in the boardroom to evaluate and approve high-impact messaging. We'll quickly cover the short copy trap, the 4 types of buyers, mining the voice of your customer, the CMO pressure test, and finally, answer engine optimization.
All right, let's dive right into section 1, the short copy trap. So the old way is totally driven by fear, specifically this massive fear that people just don't read online. Marketers sit at their desks armed with high school grammar rules, the inverted pyramid structure, and this terrifying assumption that their product is just boring. To compensate, they strip away all the emotion and detail. They leave behind this safe, short copy that makes the prospect feel absolutely nothing. But the new way? The new way is about writing copy that demands attention. It grabs you, it holds you, and it converts you. Whether it's short, long, or anything in between, the goal is to stop relying on safe camouflage and start making your audience actually pay attention.
Which brings us to section 2, the 4 types of buyers.
Here's the thing about writing short copy. You are only solving for one specific type of decision maker, the spontaneous buyer. And they might make up just 25% of your traffic. That means by stripping your page of detail, you are actively leaving the other 75% of your potential revenue sitting right on the table. No CMO wants to do that.
Let's break down all 4 of these decision-making modalities, because this is absolutely crucial. First, you have your spontaneous buyers. They're fast, they're emotional, and frankly, they probably won't read past the hero section. So short copy works perfectly for them. But look at the others. The competitive buyer moves fast, but they're highly logical. They need bulleted features and hard proof. Then we get to the slower readers. Humanistic buyers are emotional, but they take their time. They want personal stories, real photos, and deep benefits. Finally, your methodical buyers. They move slowly and logically. They want you to connect every single dot and provide every possible angle. Your job isn't to just write short copy. Your job is to construct a highly organized page that solves for all 4. You hit that spontaneous buyer with a strong hero section at the top, immediately follow it with hard proof for the competitive buyer, and then build out those deep stories and connected details further down the page for your slow readers. It's like a giant puzzle, and you need all the pieces.
Okay, moving on to section 3, mining voice of customer.
Now, the crucial difference here is what they say versus how they say it. Using qualitative research from customer interviews, surveys, and review mining completely removes the guesswork from copywriting. What your customers say actually dictates the order of the messages on your page. It tells you the exact sequence of arguments you need to make. But how they say it, the exact words, the little frustrations, the specific phrasing, that becomes your actual on-page copy. You don't just brainstorm in a boardroom, you literally echo your customer's exact language right back to them.
And that voice of customer data, that is exactly how you find your true value proposition. Think about it. Your value prop should seamlessly complete the phrase, "My product is the one that," and then state the specific benefit. You do not have to guess this. If you just review your customer testimonials, you're going to find the exact specific benefit your buyers actually care about, often written right there in plain English. And this brilliantly illustrates the power of doing exactly that. Our source material details this massive split test for a B2B business where literally none of their internal brainstorming was working. So what did they do? They looked at a testimonial and swiped a single phrase a real customer used. Eliminate 99% of your paper files. They just made that the headline. The result? A 104% increase in clicks. I mean, wow, that is the power of finding a specific voice of customer-driven value proposition. It beats cleverness every single time, for sure.
Let's pivot to section 4, the CMO pressure test.
Look, if you're using AI simply to churn out faster, generic copy, you are performing the lowest value task possible. And frankly, you're making yourself highly interchangeable. The top 1% of marketers, the real CMOs, they do not use AI to write slop. Instead, they use AI as an aggressive, strategic thinking partner to really pressure test their logic.
Here is the exact methodology they use, mapped out step by step. First, you upload your drafted copy and all your deep persona context into an AI model. Second, you prompt the AI to actively play devil's advocate from the perspective of that specific buyer persona. Third, you let the AI find exactly where your argument falls apart, where the logic fails, and where the objections arise. And finally, step 4, you take that feedback and rewrite the copy yourself for maximum impact. You stress test the messaging with AI to fix weak arguments long before your humanistic and methodical buyers ever even have a chance to spot them. It's an absolute game changer.
And finally, Section 5, Answer Engine Optimization. For years, the ultimate currency of marketing was SEO, search engine optimization, right? Getting Google to rank your website to drive traffic into your funnel. But you know as well as I do, the landscape has completely shifted. Now, a massive portion of middle-of-funnel research is happening completely off-site through tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude. So the new game is AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. The goal isn't just sheer traffic anymore. It's getting these AI answer engines to actively cite your brand and your messaging as the authoritative source of truth. To achieve this, your content can't just live quietly on your own website's blog. You have to think about where these AI models actually pull their answers from. Right now, the major AI tools are indexing highly structured, referenceable content from places like Wikipedia, Reddit threads, YouTube transcripts, Medium articles, and other highly authoritative industry sites. Your messaging needs to be embedded within these ecosystems. You have to answer the exact questions your buyers are asking, but you have got to post those answers where the AI is actually looking for them.
And that brings us to the ultimate question you really have to ask yourself before launching your next campaign. Is your copy referenceable enough, structured enough, and embedded in the right ecosystems to be cited by AI? Or is it just short, safe camouflage that will brilliantly succeed at being invisible? Use the voice of your customer to drive your message, pressure test it like a CMO, and optimize it for the answer engines. That is how you drive actual revenue today. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I challenge you, go put this playbook into practice.